We're back!
Yay!
Some of you might know we've been away for a little while. We've been visiting family and friends on the West Coast, and now we're back. I'm happy to be here. So, we're just going to do a little random drive around St. John while we share some random thoughts with you, but it's going to be a lot more exciting than it sounds, I'm sure. On the right, if Wendy pans over, is Queen Square.
So we're on the Lower West Side.
This is our neighborhood, and it is, we are in the middle of a heat warning here in New Brunswick and throughout the Maritimes. And right now it's 19 degrees Celsius in the early afternoon. So I'm not going to lie, it's quite humid. We were just on the beach with our puppies, but we do, being by the ocean, avoid the excessive heat warnings, which are becoming more common throughout the country in the summer times. Mm-hmm. And we have these beautiful parks too, with nice shaded spots. Beautiful
water views too.
So let's start with random thought number one, which is a bit of housekeeping. We have been away, so you haven't seen many videos, but we are also, for one reason or another, although most of you know, we came here to semi-retire. We do have part-time jobs, and those little hobby jobs have become quite busy for us lately, so it's going to be a little bit difficult over the next little while to find as much time to do these videos as we normally do. So we apologize for that, but hope you'll stick with us, because we will post videos whenever we get a chance. You want to add anything, Wendy?
No, busy. Yep, we're busy. It's picked up for work-wise for both of us. So, yeah, it's been, and being on holidays didn't help either. We always come back to a little more work when we're on holidays. I don't know if we've shown you this before. That's the recycling place. What's it called again, sweetie?
AIM Recycling.
AIM Recycling.
And this is those big cranes are the West Side docks. We had tried to show this area once in a video that did not work out. Mm-hmm. So this is the very bottom of the West Side. And not the nicest area.
No, we can't hear this where we live, because we're like, the Lower West is built on rolling hills, and we're a couple of hills over, so we don't hear it much. I know Uptown hears it more than we do, even though it's closer to us.
So this is in the West Side, and we rise up from here. Somebody had asked me recently about St. James Street, so just for that person, where we started this video, Queen Square was at the bottom of, or where it borders St. James. It's not a bad area at all. But there's a look at the recycling, the West Side docks with all the container ships, or containers, and then Uptown across the harbor in behind there.
So you get some pretty big freighter ships that come through here. It's kind of cool to watch. But yeah, it's not the prettiest area, but the rest of the area is gorgeous, so it all makes up for it, I think.
So random thought number two for me, it would be our trip out west. They say you can never go home again, and I experienced that. I loved visiting with my family that I haven't seen for almost 2 years, over 2 years. That was because of the pandemic and being locked down, but it was wonderful to visit with them. But I did not like being back in BC, and it gave me very weird mixed feelings, because I was so happy and so wigged out at the same time.
So this is Market Street.
A nice little playground. They've done a lot of work to upgrade Market Street. It had become quite run down, but you've got this nice playing field. You've got a beautiful splash park ahead. Yeah. And very quick access to Uptown and to the highway system.
So for me, BC was great to visit for sure. I stayed a little bit longer than Les did, so I could see some of my friends, and we had a lot of fun and stuff. But I tend to agree with Les. It was really kind of weird out there. It was very smoggy, and there was some thick smoke from nearby forest fires, and the traffic kind of sucked, and you know, it just was in my face about all the reasons why we left there. And it was really nice to get back to St. John, even though I wish our family lived out here. So we could see them a little more often, but I just could never see myself going back to Vancouver area just because of my allergies and the smog that irritates my allergies. And it was very expensive. I was out visiting with a friend and I paid $13 for a pint. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm glad to be back where it's a little less expensive to go out for a beer and a bite to eat.
Now we're heading on to the Harbor Bridge, which is under construction all summer, but as New Brunswickers do, they let you merge.
They do. It's lovely.
When I drove to the airport from our hotel in BC in Langley, on my way back here, I was stuck in traffic and it was quite frustrating, brought back a lot of memories. And then when I landed, we flew out of Fredericton and I had to drive home from there. The only thing I had to worry about was trying not to hit a moose on the highway. So yes, we've told you before how much we love St. John, and that, I'm just going to close this window while this construction is going on. We love St. John, and that just was more reinforced for me from that trip out west. Even just being in the Toronto airport for my connecting flight, as soon as I got to the waiting area for the flight to Fredericton, everybody just became friendlier. It's noticeable. It's hard to explain, but it is so noticeable.
It is, yes.
So you're looking across there at Uptown.
Yes.
And all its beauty. We've had a lot of fog lately. We don't get a lot of the heat that other parts of the province get, as we mentioned, because of the ocean, but we do get fog, and with the fog comes humidity.
Yeah, and it's been an overly wet summer this summer. I don't remember it ever being wet the summers prior to this summer. I mean, sure, you always get a little rain here and there, but the last month or so, we've had a lot of rain, so that's not normal for this area. The humidity has been a little more extreme than it has been in the past, so I don't know, maybe it's just a one-off, but it's still not nearly as hot as it is in the rest of the country. When I say it's humid and a little warmer, we're talking like instead of 20, 21, it's been 24, 25.
Yeah, and like today it's only 21, but it is quite humid.
It is humid today, yeah.
So now we've crossed the Harbor Bridge into the part of Uptown. We're not going to go through Uptown because we've done that several times. Please watch those videos if you haven't seen them. But we are going to scoot down a road that we haven't been down and shown you before. So straight ahead of us would be, the museum, the boardwalk, and the heart of Uptown. Yeah. We're going to go off to the right. We
are, go under.
And so that's a nice big apartment building. Those are rentals in there.
Is that really a rental? Wow. That has some beautiful harbor views.
Yes. And St. John Energy is across there. We have our own energy company in St. John. The rest of the province is looked after by New Brunswick Power.
So straight ahead here under the bridges, there's a big skateboarding place, so all the skateboarders hang out here. It's kind of cool.
And then ahead of us is TD Station, very easy to get to. This is where our junior hockey St. John Sea Dogs play.
And it connects to a pedway that connects to the rest of Uptown, so in the wintertime, you can go out for dinner and you never have to go outside.
Yeah, go to dinner, go to a hockey game, go out
great.
for a drink afterwards, and never be outside in the cold. It's wonderful. We've done that a couple of times, and we're looking forward, after last year's shutdown, we're looking forward to doing that again this fall and winter.
Yes. We sure missed our sports. I mean, we got a little bit of, we got a lot of NHL last year, and but it was, formatted differently, and we got a little bit of this and that, but it was been really nice lately to watch the Olympics, and we look forward to the sports in the fall around here.
So we're heading into a roadway that kind of connects uptown with the east side. We've done a few connections that way to show the landscape, but we've never been along this road, which the name escapes me. But this is a very common way of getting from uptown to the east side as well. And to the left would be up the hill and beyond would be Milledgeville.
Yes.
And that, if you're looking to stay, that Chateau St. John Hotel is a very nice place to stay. We just had a friend stay there and she loved it.
Yes, she did.
And up on the right is the one of two hospitals, the St. Joseph's Hospital in St. John.
Yeah.
So, another random thought. Somebody asked me they liked our top 10 list of reasons you should move to St. John. They asked us to do a top 10 reasons why you wouldn't like St. John. And I cannot come up with 10 reasons, but...
came up with 5.
Yeah, we came up with 5. And Wendy was just talking about sports, and the fact that we don't have an NHL team or any other professional teams here would probably be up on the list for me, and we never will because it's not a big enough city. But maybe one day we'll get some CFL football out in the Maritimes, in Halifax. That would be nice, but... we'll have to wait and see what happens there, but that would certainly be a reason. Otherwise, I can't think of 10 reasons. We could think of a few.
Oh, look, we got the fuzz in front of us here.
Yes.
The fuzz. Les couldn't really think of like 5 whole reasons, so he has subcategorized the top one into 3.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, and those 3, and maybe we'll do a video of that, and we will if I can talk Wendy into it. But we'll tease it here. The top 3 reasons not to move to St. John. Well, they're not reasons not to, but to think twice about it. Would be number 1, 2, and 3. Taxes, taxes, and more taxes.
So that is income tax, property tax, and
sales tax.
Sales tax. And so we'll go into that in more detail in another video. But that's not just a problem in St. John. That's kind of all over New Brunswick. So, yeah, that's more of a provincial thing. But the rest of the Maritimes, they're just as expensive. So if you think that, you're going to pay less taxes in PEI, that's not going to happen for you. So it is a maritime thing just because the population is a lot lower out here. And that's about it.
Yeah, well, we'll get into that in a
We
video.
will.
So stay tuned. Okay, so again, what the heck street are we on?
We don't know. Okay, here it comes. We are on Rothsay.
Rothsay Avenue.
Rothsay Ave.
Oh yeah, busy street that we always drive down here.
Yeah, this curves into part of Rothsay Ave that takes you into the shopping district. But we have like the Honda dealership here and the Chevrolet Buick dealership here. The Superstore is on the right. We usually come off the highway and we show you that off of the ramp that takes us off the highway. But there's a Staples here and a Superstore. Just to let you know where we also come from in BC, the Superstore is kind of like it's a cheaper grocery store than most in theory, and for the most part, yeah, it's cheaper than say Safeway and Sobeys and all those. But out here, that's not the case. So the Superstore is just as expensive as all the other grocery stores out here. So
and just as nice.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. They're beautiful inside. The ones that I go to save money out here are the no frills. So, but the Superstores are super nice, and we now have no plastic bags in New Brunswick. But before they used to give you out free bags and stuff. So yeah.
So straight ahead of us would be the route out to the Redhead area, and also to another access to uptown. Actually, 2 of them. If you turn right at the intersection we're waiting at, you can get to uptown that way, or the next way is the Courtney Bay Causeway. But we're going to go left here onto Loch Lomond Road, and we're going to show you the refinery.
Ooh, the big scary refinery.
Don't shut down this video just yet. We got more thoughts to share.
Do we?
Yeah.
Okay, what's random thought number whatever it is?
All right, we spoke with our realtor who we have a good relationship with because we have referred several of you lovely viewers to her. And she told us that the way the market is currently, 100% basically of her clients are from out of province. Nobody from in province is buying.
Yes.
And that's just a sign of the times, the way things are going. But we had a couple of the people that we referred to her that asked for referrals. Sent us videos of home tours that she did that were a half hour long, and we were astounded by the detail that she went into. So if you do need a referral for a realtor, if you are from out of province and thinking of moving to St. John, you can reach out either through our Facebook group, I love St. John, NB exclamation mark, which is crazy, but that's blame that one on Wendy.
I didn't think that one through, sorry.
Or you can send me an email to lesduggan@gmail.com, and that is in the About section on our channel if you need to have it repeated or spelled out for you. But yeah, you need, there are a lot of older homes in St. John, and there are a lot of things to look out for that maybe you wouldn't need to look out for in other places. And our realtor is great if you're serious about moving here.
Yeah, you definitely have to trust your realtor for even if you lived in the area, just because there are very specific issues to this area that you need to watch out for. Flooding's one of them. I mentioned that in every video.
Plumbing, electrical systems,
yes.
Insulation. There's a lot of weird stuff here.
Yeah.
So we did just, again, with our realtor who we've kept in close contact with, and she has just closed on the 8th referral that we sent her. 8 people that watch our videos bought homes here through our realtor.
Yeah,
so
that's crazy.
Congratulations to all 8 of you.
There's very little inventory out here because, as Les had mentioned, there's no locals that are really actually trying to buy into this market. So therefore, there's a lot of locals that aren't selling their homes. So inventory is at an all-time low, and when things come on the market, they go pretty fast. It's the first time St. John has really kind of experienced this type of boom. But
so I've got somebody right on behind me, so it's going to be hard to slow down, but we're going to try.
So this is the refinery. Yeah, you can pull over. All right. Pass. All right, so this is the refinery, guys. It's not very pretty, but it does employ a lot of people. Do you want to pull in here and I'll get out and I'll show them a close-up?
Okay.
We'll do that instead, because I know a lot of you are curious. We do get a lot of questions about the industry out here, and if there's any air quality issues, all that sort of stuff. The air quality out here, of course, it's not as good by the refinery, but it's not bad where we live, and other parts of the city, it's still actually really good. It's just I wouldn't want to live right next to the refinery, and that's just my own personal thought. Just because you can kind of taste the sulfur in the air out here, but the bay blows the sulfur elsewhere, so it becomes somebody else's problem, unfortunately. But yes, this is the refinery. And
so this is on the east side of St. John off of Loch Lomond Road. And it's a big piece of property, but you can see it's kind of by itself. And there's the big Irving on the, whatever those tanks are. So I don't find that this interferes with anything, and certainly not in quality of life matters. But I agree with Wendy, I wouldn't want to live right near it. But you don't have to.
Exactly. There's so many other areas in the city that are beautiful and is far enough away from this refinery that you can live quality of life and have fresh air and not have to worry about air quality at all. And but I would say surrounding areas to this refinery probably isn't the best idea if you're purchasing.
Yeah, so we talking about BC, where we're from and where we just returned to, and they basically for the last several weeks, every day straight, have had air quality warnings and advisories for smog, pollution, wildfire smoke. We don't get any of those here in St. John.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that this this refinery, it stands out because it's a big place in a small city, but every city has this kind of industry in it, including tons of industry around Vancouver that creates enormous pollution over the Fraser Valley, where the mountains trap it in. We don't get that here.
And some pretty big ports as well.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's industry in this city. We need it to survive, but it does not affect us on a day-to-day basis in any way.
All right.
So let's get back in the car.
Let's do it.
Don't step in any dog crap.
Ew. Okay, thanks for pointing that out to me. Yeah. All right. As you can see, we have blue skies here. It's kind of nice out. It's not as humid here right now. It was down by the water, which is usually the other way around. But whatever. It's all good. It's nice out. Okay, I'm going to get back in the car. All right, schmoopers.
Yeah, it's very foggy when we woke up this morning and humid, and then it was when we went to the beach, but the fog's been burning off and the humidity is disappearing, but it is still a lovely 21 degrees. So we are on the east side.
Oops. Can you hang on just for a second while I put my seatbelt on and stuff? Here, keep this up.
So I'm going to share another random thought. Drop the microphone. About 2 weeks ago, I needed to have a prescription filled, and I was dreading it because we don't at this moment have a family doctor. So I thought, being from BC, that the procedure would be I would go to a walk-in clinic. I would wait there with a bunch of sick people for 3 or 4 hours. Then I'd get into a doctor who would write me a prescription. Then I'd have to go get it filled, drop it off at a pharmacy, and pick it up later on. And the whole process would take me, 5-6 hours. Well, here, in this place that everyone complains about the healthcare system, I texted the walk-in clinic, who called me back within 5 minutes, asked me what I needed. I told them. They said a doctor will call you when your prescription is ready. So I went about my business. Later on in the day, doctor called me up, said, okay, I've sent your prescription to the pharmacy. It'll be ready at this time. You can go pick it up. I thought that was a pretty 21st century way of doing things.
Yes.
And I was very happy with that process.
Yes.
So that's your random thought about healthcare.
Pretty efficient, I'd say.
Yeah. So we are on the east side, kind of. We did some videos out this way, Lakeview District or whatever it's called, and the NBCC. We're gonna slip down this way because we haven't been here with you. And you'll see that we are going to end up right in the middle of the East Side Shopping District.
Mm-hmm. So just to remind you all, St. John is actually pretty small. So, if you're worried about purchasing or moving into an area that you think will be far from another area, it's not. You can drive across St. John from one far, west side to the very far east side within 20 minutes. So just to let you know that everything is pretty compact here. It is well spread out. There isn't a core that's super overpopulated like a lot of other cities. Uptown has some beautiful areas, and there's multifamily dwellings there, of course, but for the most part St. John is pretty spread out, and but it is still relatively small. So
yes, And another random thought about weather. Being back in BC again on our trip, the weather was hot there. It was hot and humid, and it can be hot and humid throughout southern Ontario, as a lot of you would know, and it can be hot and humid in the Maritimes as well during the summer. But where we live near the ocean, compared to where I work in Quispamsis, it takes me about 17 minutes to drive to work, and the temperature can increase by anywhere from 5 to 8 to 9 degrees in a 17-minute drive. So if you don't like it really hot, stay near the ocean.
Yes.
So I guess Wendy's giving me the sign that we're getting near the limit of our video here.
So that's McAllister Mall, just so you know where we are, because we've done lots of videos of this area.
Yeah, East Side Shopping. So anyway, we're going to wrap up the video quickly here, but we are back. We are going to keep trying to do these videos as often as we can. I'm sorry if they won't be as often as they have been. We are looking forward to getting some good views in the fall with the changing colors and everything like that. This area has unsurpassed beauty in the autumn season. But we thank you for all of you that have subscribed to our channel, and we hope that any of you who haven't will consider doing so. We do try to give you a viewpoint of St. John as someone from an outsider's perspective. We love living here. We've been here now well over 3 years, and we love living in St. John. Couldn't think of living anywhere else at this point in Canada. So that's it.
No more random thoughts?
Well, no. I think that was my random thoughts for today. Maybe we'll do another random thought video in the future. But we won't shut it off just yet. But Wendy can give her random thoughts.
I don't have any random thoughts, and usually my random thoughts are a bit scary, so I'm not going to share them with you.
Well, she did share one about her $13 pints in BC, and
Yes.
we usually pay about $6 or so for a pint here.
Yeah,
in St.
I
John.
had a bill going out with a friend that was $80 just for me, and all I had was some nachos, and I had 4 pints with it. So that was scary.
So if you watched our video before we left for our trip of us being on the boardwalk, we were drinking $5 pints that afternoon during their happy hour.
Yes.
So yeah, here's another hotel. There's hotels all over the city. There are lots of places to stay. There's Airbnbs. There are short and long stay accommodations, especially in Uptown. So don't be afraid to come out here, and don't be afraid to watch all of our videos, and stick with us. Subscribe to our channel, because this is where you'll get the best information, not about us so much, but about St. John the city.
Yes. So keep watching. Thanks so much for subscribing for those who have, and we'll chat soon, and we love St. John.